Welcome to WCBL Indigo Week 2 Power Rankings. I am your host, CB, and this week joining me as my co host, Spectrum, instead of Nada, because Nada is busy. Say hi, Spectrum.
Yes. No. Fuck off. Fuck you,
Okay.
what's going on, guys? Ah, boy, oh boy. I
This was an
decided to just step
interesting
in
week.
because, yeah, this is gonna be a entertaining week, honestly. So,
So,
don't expect any. For those children who are watching, please click off the video because I will not be family friendly.
uh,
Spoiler alerts.
um,
But, oh boy, let's kind of hop right in here. So. I have Liam at number 10. You have
him at 8.
Slimy. You have at number 8, and I have Slimy at number 10. Who do you want? Let's talk about Slimy since you have at
Slimy?
number 10.
Yeah, so this week, Slimy brought Meteor, Zorora, Greninja, Nidoking, Ferrothorn, and Cofagris against you, and you brought
I brought
Oh, you could do that.
Mudsdale, Darmanitan, the Goat, Como-O, Selgor, Cryogonal, and Bisharp. So immediately going into this matchup, I'll just talk about it 'cause it's my matchup. It's going into this matchup. I knew for a fact that he has Volcarona with no removal. His removal is Togekiss, and I pressured the hell out of Togekiss. Like I knew I could get away with Hazard Stack with ease. Like the reason I was torn between putting Liam at number 10 or Slimy at number 10 because Slimy just had nothing, and he really played very poorly versus me because of the fact that he just played so weirdly. I led a Salgor. It's like lead a Salgor. Obviously, every lead a Salgor would set up has Encore, and that's just simple knowledge. And he just sacked his Ferrothorn after I got out my third spike and let me final Gambit it for free. And that was just so huge because of the fact that that opened up the door for stuff like Bisharp and Mons of that caliber. And it's just like, why? You know? Like it just made no sense to me at all because of the fact that he just kept sacking Mons willy-nilly for basically no reason. And in the end, it was just Bisharp just going in on him. Bisharp claiming like 3 kills this week. It's ridiculous. Darm, I think, putting 2 kills as well. So it's just he let me kill out the Ferrothorn early, and it really helped out Mons like Bisharp to sweep through him. So
Okay.
honestly, it was just hazard stack and go basically.
Mm-hmm. So why I really thought that Slimy kind of deserved this last place instead of like JS or Liam was because currently he is 0-2 -8, which is the worst. He hasn't been really showing good prep in week 1 or this week. Um, for some reason, he decided to bring Meteor, which I guess could put in work if it got a Shell Smash off, but it didn't even take a knockoff from Bisharp.
Bisharp.
Which
But
is
then again, it
like
was adamant. Then again, it was adamant Bisharp, but the thing just hurt like hell. But anyway, I see your point.
also I
Um,
think that he probably could have possibly brought Volcarona with like Quiver Dance, Psychic
I was
Drain, and
terrified
Fire
of
Move.
Corona.
Yeah,
I was
that
terrified
could
of it.
put a lot of work against your team, and he did not bring it. It's like, what are you
Because I had
doing?
to, if I remember that matchup correctly, I was Payapa Como just for Psyche MZ Volcarona before at +1. I think I 8-1 with my spread, if I remember correctly. Like I knew he had a Z Greninja instead, which I speaking of Z moves, if we're talking about that, like I understand Z Greninja, but like if I remember his team, like Z Kofag and Z Volcarona, it was just amazing for this team. Like I don't know why this was like the core I wanted last season. Which what was last season again?
It doesn't exist. Don't
I know,
ask.
right.
Yeah.
It's like I understand the fact that you wanted Z Greninja. It's like come on, Z Volcarona and Z Kofag was like amazing Z synergy because one they both benefit from different things. Like honestly, the thing it's just he I don't know. It's weird. He just didn't have anything for my offense at all. He's like, oh, I asked him why didn't he bring Togekiss because that was his only removal versus me, and he's like, Darm just annihilated it. I'm like, yeah, but still.
I also felt like Mega Glade could have done well against you as well with like
Yeah,
a
that was
fighting
another
move, Zen
thing.
headbutt, P jab, and then either sword stance or bulk up. And it
Yeah, exactly. Like,
demolishes your team.
yeah, I really did. Outside of Mudsdale, which my Mudsdale is designed to beat down Zero Aura. That's it.
Yeah,
It didn't even do that properly
so Mega Glade could
because
set
I
up
messed
against
up.
it with like bulk up, take hits,
Yeah, exactly.
and then
And I really
fire
screwed up.
off like a Zen headbutt or a drain punch, and then bam.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like his prep was just very, very off. I don't
Yeah,
know if he was like rushed for time or I'm not too sure to be honest with you.
I don't know. So
So
let's move on then.
yeah, let's talk about Liam. So Liam had you can go ahead and announce the team, then I'll announce the
Uh,
next one.
Liam brought Landorus, Furion, Bronzong, Superior, Milotic, Florges, and Megazord X.
And TB brought Linoon, Rotom Wash, Celesteela, Mega Ampharos, Sylveon, and Donphan. So big problem, like not really. Kind of, we had a little bit of a discussion about this. He forgot to Mega Evolve Ampharos turn one, which again, it didn't play any sort of factor into the matchup, but
Just less
still,
damage right off the bat with the
yeah,
Volt Switch.
yeah. Like it didn't play like any sort of like anything at all with the battle, but still, don't forget to Mega turn one, folks.
Yep. So
um, so
Liam
it was
did
just
not
kind
play
of,
well whatsoever. Turn one,
God no.
he recovers when his mon is faster. Later
Yeah.
on, he recovers in front of a. What did he recover in front of?
I
The
can
Superior with the synthesis.
I believe so, yeah. Uh,
And
TB just really, if I could just say one quick thing, TB really showed you his prep. Like, like tricking the scarf on Bronzong was huge by turn five, because that really helps Mon like Celesteal out, which it was autotomize, and it was just great prep on his end. Getting that scarf on that Bronzong, because Bronzong, outside of Fire Blast, just ripped through Liam, honestly. And Celesteela here just went in,
I,
basically.
I think he
Uh,
synthesized in front of the Celesteela with the
yeah,
Superior, which is
I
like,
believe he
what?
did. Yeah, he really
Celesteela
did.
is
On the
gonna
autotomize, yeah.
blow you back.
I think though Liam was probably predicting like that stupid bulky set with Heavy Slam Flamethrower. And then all of a sudden autotomize goes off and it's like, oh, well, what's my switching now? You know? Like TB just really out prepped in this battle. Like it was just the freaking Rotom Wash, Mega Ampharos, Celesteela show. Basically, that was really it. That was the only three mods that ever hit the battles. I don't believe Donphan, Sylveon, or even Linoon hit the battlefield at
No,
all. It was just
they did not.
Celesteela just
Blowing
doing
everything
work.
back.
It
Doing
literally just
Celesteela
went in.
things.
Exactly. Like this is why people still sleep on the Autotomize set. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Like I don't know why Liam ever would stay in with Superior. That
Maybe
was the
if
one
it's
thing that
AV
I don't
Superior.
think it was. Otherwise,
Yeah,
no,
but
it wasn't because he has
yeah, I know,
synthesis.
but
Yeah,
that's the only reason I would stay in with a Superior against the Celesteela because physically
right.
it's not doing much to you. Um,
Yeah,
and then you could get off like a Leaf Storm, get the +2, and then hit it with a hidden power fire or whatever you have to hit
yeah,
it with.
exactly. I'm just trying to figure out like with this battle, it was just weird. Like this battle was such a weird battle. If I remember correctly, I think like they were both like pressured for time or something. I can't remember,
That might have
but
been it. That
I
sounds familiar.
I could not tell you. And then the stupidest play of all time, freaking wish passing into Sylvia into the freaking Melodic. That was so funny when he did that. Then that like it, Liam just
Bop.
really did not have much. Yeah, exactly. It just disappeared. It was way too. It was just nothing Liam could do. Celesteela just went in.
If it was
Like I
just
said,
this
I think
week's showing, I probably would have put Liam at 10. But
yeah, it
week
was
one
just like
post
I said.
draft, he was rank 1 for me. It's like, eh, he has a good
Yeah,
team. He did do well week 1. This week, eh.
no.
But
Like I said, it just boiled down to I think when he got the trick on Bronze Line, I think it was just like game plan at that point. Whenever Superior went in, it was just he played the game pretty well. He just played the volt switches right, got in the Celesteela on the correct mon, and then just went in. So that was pretty much that, honestly.
Yep. So moving on,
Uh,
or anything else you want to add?
move on. No, I think I'm pretty much covered with that matchup, honestly.
Yep, we basically covered everything. So moving on
Yeah.
to my number 9, your number 8, JS.
JS. So JS brought the team of Infernape, Gliscor, Mega Blastoise, or Moongus, Rotom Heat, and Mew.
And his opponent Justin brought Raikou, Mamoswine, Heatran, was it Mega Scizor or just regular Scizor?
I think it's regular Scizor. No, it is Mega. It's actually Mega.
Could have swore I changed that, but then looking at my notes,
no,
it's
it's Mega.
Salamence
Yeah.
and Tentacruel.
Yes.
Yeah. This week, JS got bodied 6-0.
This week. Yes,
Putting him
there was
at
a body. There was
0-2
two.
and -8.
Yeah, so
I'll start talking about this one. So basically, JS, starting off, it was sort of good positioning, but then he
it just went downhill.
went downhill
then-
when he decided to bring in a Moongus against the Raikou as his switch in instead of that Gliscor, which could possibly wall it, except for Hidden Power
No,
Ice.
he had HPs. Yeah, he had HPs.
Yeah, but if didn't, then Gliscor could switch in. Probably the problem with this is Amoonguss is not really a Raikou counter unless
No,
you're running.
it's
It's
not.
not
It's
because Raikou
absolutely not.
can run safety goggles. It could get that sub up, preventing the spore.
Right. It's
Only
like because
possibility
come on.
Is like
Yeah.
stomp and tantrum on Amoonguss for it, and it's like
That
that can break the sub, but
yeah, the
just
tackle,
barely.
man. Honestly, this was just JS just getting stomped into the ground. Like, great prep on Justin's end. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, so come on, Raikou, it's fairly common. But it was just great prep. He knew what monster set up on. Like, Rotom Heat, there was a little thing last week where it was like, JS could never ever click overheat, and this week was kind of the same thing. Rotom Heat is just being used to set up fodder like mad crazy for on JS's end. This is what 2 weeks in a row where Rotom Heat like almost became set up fodder. Last week he was versus me, and that's why he could never like you guys mentioned last week that he couldn't pull the trigger on overheat because I had sub combined or sub DD. This week it was a sub CM Raikou. You know
What JS could have really used Silvally Ground.
Yes,
Max HP, Max Spadaf, rolls that Raikou, walls that Heatran.
Exactly, I was
like,
literally just about to say.
Raikou isn't doing much with Hidden Power Ice.
No.
And
like, honestly,
multi-attack basically bops it.
Yeah. And honestly, it was just at this point, like I said, it was just set up fodder. Like, Rotom Heat was set up fodder. Amoonguss was set up fodder. It was just absolutely nothing JS could do. It was just straight 6-0 domination. I would almost say it was like a lead 6-0, but unfortunately Salamence hit the field, so RIP to one of the bold predictions. One of the bold predictions was something's gonna lead and then set up and then get a 6-0. Then again, it was a defensive one, so yeah, honestly, it was just one
a
of those
body bag.
matchups. It really was.
Like a lot of these matches this week, it's like
this was a weird ass week, dude. It was body bag week. Shofu called. He wants his body bag week back. Honestly. So yeah, I mean, do you think you have anything else to add?
I think it's for some reason I jotted
now.
out that maybe a Alolan Persian might have been useful, maybe as a physical
wall.
Maybe physical wall.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later.
Because Mamoswine also does a lot to his team. It's like
yeah, we'll get to that later, but because we gotta talk about Justin later anyway. Let's kind of move on to Gels because we both have him at number 7.
Lucky us.
Honestly.
This week, Gels brought Mega Aerodactyl, Heracross, Suicune, Arcanine, Shaman, and Cobalion.
Haxorus, not Heracross.
I said Haxorus, didn't I?
No, you said Heracross.
Well,
But anyway.
and I have Haxorus
No,
right here in front of me. Meant to say Haxorus. Maybe I'm having a stroke. I don't know.
You probably are. And then Nada bringing Klefki, Gorobus, Hoopa Unbound, Mega Lopunny, Staraptor, and Roserade. So, kind of hopping into this matchup a bit, turn one, it was just Brave Bird, get the chip on Arcanine, and then disappears. Raptor was not, had, little to no influence on this match. Honestly, I don't know why Nada decided to sack off Raptor when it could do quite a bit of work, honestly.
Probably because Arcanine's a real threat to her team. Like, Bandit Arcanine basically can one-shot almost a lot of things on her team, and it's like getting rid of that Arcanine's like top priority.
Yeah, it was Life Orb, which, I mean, she had stuff like Lopunny, and then she had also stuff like Stu Hoopa. I wasn't sure I don't remember what she said the Hoopa set was, but honestly, it was just turn one was like crazy with Staraptor and Arcanine just trading recoil moves back and forth. Nada makes a good play here, not even bothering with the fake out and just going straight for the return. And honestly, it was just at this point, it was like kill trading at this point. For quite majority of the match. It was, if I remember correctly, like one of the turns, it was like really early on in the match where Arrow makes a really good play and clicks Fire Fang on the incoming Klefki, and then I think it was just honestly.
And then he started setting up Calm Minds with
Suicune.
And then he slowly whittled down Nada, but he let Suicune get whittled, and then
very whittled by
and then Nada found her opportunity to set up a Shell Smash with the Corvus.
Yes.
And it's like Gals didn't really have anything for that except for the Suicune, but that was whittled.
I think Nada made one kind of misplay, like going straight for the Hyperspace Fury with Hoopa. At that point, like the switch into Cobalion from the Hoopa was so obvious because there's no way Giles would sack his win con like that. Like I would have predicted at least, but that's just me. The switch into Cobalion was fairly obvious on the Hoopa.
Scarf,
not a
if it was Scarf, then Close Combat basically ruined the rest of her team at +1 though.
Yeah, exactly.
But sadly, it was not Scarfed.
Yeah. And then Gorobus just shell smashing up, showing you that it does not need freaking Baton Pass at all. And then just revealing the Slammer, and then it was just a 6-0 beat, and it was just 5-0. It was a reverse sweep from a
reverse sweep
or embassy up.
Yeah.
That was
Gals actually probably could have won if one of his Romanian mons was scarfed, like Shaman, Haxorus.
Yeah.
If one of those was scarfed, Gorobus gets knocked out.
Or he didn't let Suicune get so weakened by the Roserade. Like, honestly, on the Roserade, I just would have went to Aero if I was Gals. Like, I would never ever let freaking Suicune just get as much chip as it did. The spike really did help, though, from Klefki. Help it probably secure some KOs and whatnot. So, break any sashes, what have you.
Also, shows the weakness in Gals' team with lack of hazard removal.
I think hazard removal on, if I remember Gals' team, he has some pretty decent ones.
He has Mega Arrow. Has Mega Arrow. Nothing else gets defog or Rapid Spin.
You're right.
It's like,
you're right. You're right.
Hazards are good against them.
Yes, I agree. But yeah, so that's pretty much that with Gals. Let's kind of move on to who do you want to talk about, Matt or TB? I want to talk about Matt.
Talk about Matt. You're number 6, my number 5. Sure, why not? Let's go.
Actually, no. Let's talk about TV first, because honestly, we already talked about the match. It's pretty in depth, I would say, but not super in depth. But
so
it's just the thing. Yeah, the thing with TB this week was he just had really good matchup. Honestly, it was just Celesteela just going to work, and it's just like I said, he really played well. Honestly, getting the trick off on the Bronzong, like I mentioned it before. Like, see people say, "Oh, it doesn't matter," but it's like, yeah, it really did. Because if Bronzong probably had lefties or whatnot, like something different than a Scarf, I think Bronzong could have potentially, like Liam would have gone to Bronzong way before Celesteela got set up, if it was still the leftovers Bronzong, because he probably had something on there for it. The Superior just He just capitalized on all of Liam's stupidity. I'm not trying to be mean, but it really, really was.
Yeah.
It was just superior. Really, the recover turn 1. I thought for some reason the melodic would be. See, I was kind of goofing because I thought Mega Ampharos got speed, but I forgot it dropped speed. So the
Yeah.
recover turn 1 made absolutely no sense. He should have just gotten some scholarship or whatever. Like, it's always good to
Or
have
Mirror
chip.
Coat. That would have been a good play.
Yeah, Mirko, like, just the way TB played
Body.
this matchup was just amazing. Like, getting the Volt Switch, getting the initiative into one of his sweepers. Like, that's the kind of matchup you need to have. It's the kind of game you play. You just get your initiative into your sweepers, being either Noon, Celesteela, potentially, or, like, other things. But honestly, Celesteela just really showing you that offensively it still can do work. Like, everyone knows the defensive capability because the Steel Flying typing is such a good typing, but it just shows you that offensively Celesteela can still do mad work. Beast Boost, just amazing ability, honestly.
Maybe it's just me, but my only really complaint against TP is the Linoon. Maybe it's just because I just don't like Linoon, but I feel like could have brought something like Gengar, which is more reliable damage in case
I
something
mean, like
happens.
I said,
Because you
yeah.
need to set up that Linoon. But
I mean, it's not super difficult to with Liam's team because of the fact that he could use something like Bronzong or Melodic, maybe even Superior at neutral. Probably Florges was a setup fodder. Florges is easy setup fodder for Linoon, even before screens probably.
I guess
I had a
that's
feeling it
true.
was probably. I have a feeling it was probably screen Sylveon, screens Wish, Moonblast. I could see it. But
TB
then again,
starting
like I
off
said,
nicely with the 1/1
yeah,
+1.
yeah, he really is honestly. So
Him and
it's
Matt are
good.
basically switchable in these power
I
rankings
know
between 6 and
exactly.
5. It's
It
like,
really, really are.
got a nitpick for this.
Oh
But
yeah.
I really only had him in 6 instead of Matt because the sweep, yes, it's a sweep, but Liam was playing hot garbage. And it's
Yeah,
like.
he really was. And there's not much really you can
and he
say.
also sort of got swept week 1 against me.
Yeah,
So it's
that's the only
like,
reason I couldn't place him any higher. Like,
yeah.
I could not place him any higher. 5 and 6 are just very interchangeable. So
Mm-hmm.
let's move on to a match we haven't even brought up yet with Matt. So
Yeah, you're
Matt
6, my 5.
bringing, yep. So Matt bringing the team of Skarmory, Seismitoad, Megaladios, Crawdaunt, Tapu Koko, and Lucha. The Coco Lucha.
And
And
I brought Crobat, Delphox, Crocodile, Cresselia, Curran Black, and Tapu Fini. This is actually
Kyurem.
probably our only close match this week with,
Yeah, really,
with the
it
2
really
and
is.
0 in my favor.
Yeah, so Kyurem.
Um,
So I'll let you talk about this match since this was your game.
sure. So basically, breaking down this match, I knew I could stand a chance. I just really needed that Coco gone because Coco
Yeah.
is a hell of a threat.
Real
Um,
talk. Was that Specs bat?
no, it was modest. It's
Oh,
like a 90%
okay.
chance, and I had it scarfed.
Yeah, okay. For some reason, I thought it was fucking Modest Bat. I'm like, God damn, Specs Bat. I'm like, God damn,
Not
Specs
Specs
Bat
Bat.
is amazing.
Then I would have to force the speed tie, and then I'm not risking that.
Well, honestly, this matchup was really, really fun to watch. I didn't watch it a lot. I think I was sound asleep when this was
So
happening.
basically, it started off with trying to pivot down, weaken down each other's walls. Um,
Yeah.
Only really complaint about him is he did not bring that lantern, which is his bolt beam switch in for my Kyron Black. So
See, I have one little nitpick on you. I'm gonna
yeah,
say one little thing. Why intimidate with foul play? That's my biggest complaint with your crocodile sex. I noticed
I
that.
think
Like,
it was supposed to be Moxie, but
because with DD, I could see, but like DD Latios could be a problem. Yes, but there's no
yes,
way it was brand DD Lati
don't remember.
versus you.
I think it was supposed to be Moxie.
Yeah, because I noticed that I'm like kind of watching these
Yeah, but
as we talk about them, but
that's mainly my one complaint about my team was the crocodile. I'm like looking back, I'm like, wait, why is it
I'm like,
intimidate?
what? Yeah.
But the foul play
Honestly,
was
the big
there
play.
for like belly drum on the.
Yeah. I think the
If he
big play
brought it.
though, yeah, the biggest play of that match was getting rid of Coco early.
Yeah,
That's
when
what's on play.
when I switched in Bat and he switched into Coco, I'm like,
Yep,
let's hope he
that
stays
was
in and
huge.
hopefully he's not scarfed himself or sashed or Kibia berry or whatever the poison berry is. It's Kibia, right? Or is
Because
that
that was such
berry?
a big, it was like a big play there, honestly. Getting rid of Coco because Lucha at that point
He did
was
not
way
have
too
any chip
early.
on my Cresselia,
No, on the
which
Cresselia or the
hard walled
Finny.
Halucha. So once Coco was gone,
Exactly.
he's not really wanting to
Exactly.
switch in the Halucha, and then it's not getting its electric seed,
No,
and it's like
exactly.
easier to deal with.
So Lucha at that point was just basic free fodder, as I like to call it, because of the fact that it's just Lucha, can't do much. And then it was just at this point a stall fest between Skarmory and Cresselia, and then the match kind of slowed down. It was just
Yeah, I had to bank on him whirlwind me into Delphox to get rid of it, and then yeah.
revealing the heat wave on Bat. Like you should have revealed that earlier, but that's just me. Like getting everything chipped
Well,
down
I
for
didn't want to
sure.
go into Heat Wave because then if it's like Dragon Dance Crawdunt, it can set up in front of it
Oh yeah,
since
true,
it's
true, true,
scarfed, and it's
true.
like. But then I just got tired of him just sitting there in front of me with the Skarmory, so I'm like, okay, if he does go into Crawdon, I can still deal with it slightly,
Yeah,
since my Cresselia did outspeed it. Sped prep for that.
yeah.
Luckily, it was
See,
banded Crawdon
yeah.
and not
See, me
DD.
personally, I argue Kieran Black is overrated, but Kieran Black put in quite a bit of work this match. I can't even lie. It just after everything was chipped down, Kieran Black just showing you like, I mean, yeah, I always call it
It's
overrated
taking
because of the
souls.
scarf. Yeah, I call it overrated because it's like one trick pony, like Koopa Unbound. It has to be scarf or just a
It
wall
could be a
breaker in general.
bulky subset
Yeah,
with Roost,
yeah.
like regular Kyurem.
Like regular Kieran could do it better because of pressure, but
Yeah.
Kieran Black to me is more like it has to be offensive, like almost every week to me. Like I don't know. So Kieran Black kind of showing you like once everything is chipped to no end, it's just going to go in on you.
Also, a complaint about Matt with his Skarmory. He went for spikes over rocks. Like,
Yes, I agree. Another
why not go
complaint,
for rocks? It's wears down my Kyurem, which is just switching in all the time, blowing something
right?
back. It's
Right.
like,
Another complaint I had about Matt was not speeding creeping Crawdon
no,
for Crest.
I did speed creep Crest to outspeed Jolly Crawdon.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was
So it wasn't going to outspeed me no matter what, unless it
right.
had Dragon Dance, but it wasn't. It was banded.
Yeah.
And once I knew
So,
that, I'm like, woo, safe.
yeah, I agree. Like, I kind of disagree because, like, I mean, in the regard of Banded, I disagree with that prep because DD just finessed the shit out of you. Real talk. Were you Fusion Bolt on that cure?
Yes, I do believe so. I can pull up my team real quick.
If you're a Fusion Bolt, then I would say, like, yeah, I can understand, but meh.
Versus Red Matt, yeah, Fusion Bolt, Ice Beam, Earth Power, Outrage.
Okay. So, like I said, at that point, I don't know. I think DD, once Finny was gone, and Finny was, if that Seismitoad set was kind of smart, the physical Seismitoad. Was he a Silvest? No, he's lefty. Isn't
No,
he?
he
I thought
was
he was.
max Badef from my damage.
Yeah.
Max HP, max
Like,
Badef.
because of the fact that Finny hardwalled Chrononaut, that's why I felt like DD was more the appropriate bring for it, but that's
Because
just
then it could
my
just
opinion.
use
Yeah, because
Poison
of the fact
Jab.
that Seismitoad, yeah, because you could knock off, chip it down, and then all of a sudden Seismitoad comes in and just kind of chips more with Finny. So just a few little minor complaints on my end, but
I'm just glad
honestly
he
still,
didn't get that Calm Mind going on the Mega Lottie, because that was definitely
right.
stored powered. I could tell. It's like,
Yeah,
ooh, yes, Surf knocked
I
out my
prefer
quirk.
Adios per se between before for star power, but that's just me. But
But we
let's
don't
kind of
have
move on
Megalodios.
here. Yeah, I know. Megalodios is too damn fucking good.
But
Let's move
that
on
put.
here. Let's talk about me, or do you want to talk about Justin? I have Justin at number
Let's talk
one. You have
about
him at number
you,
two.
since we already discussed.
Me?
Oh wait, we
Okay.
are. Yeah. So
Yeah.
with your matchup, you are now 2-0 with the +5. You did very well, which is why I put you at 2. You got that stack going, which basically allowed the late game sweep with your physical threats. Nice
Yeah.
scouting with the Bisharp with the sub in front of the
Oh, I
Kofag to
was
see if
the
it's
reason.
Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp could
Yeah,
have done
that's
a
the only
lot, and it's
reason I was
like,
gonna literally use it as setup fodder. Otherwise, because I
yeah.
knew like I didn't think he'd bring D-Bond. I didn't think that made any sense. Like I figured he'd bring like a really phys def one for stuff like Como O, because I've been bringing physical Como O
Mm-hmm.
like every single freaking both week one, and it had a really good matchup. I think what was the other mon I had on my team that really helped? Mimikyu. Mimikyu was another one. I thought he would bring physical phys def with Will-O-Wisp. That's why I used it. I was going to use it as setup fodder. And at Bisharp, if I remember correctly, like I knew I was adamant this week because of the fact that I only needed. I think I had enough speed to speed creep Ursaring, like max speed Ursaring. I didn't think he'd run like slower Minior.
Main
But
complaint in this game was you switched in Darm into Greninja when 5 Water Shurikens took it out, and I'm like, he already blew the Psychic, so I'm
I,
pretty sure
yeah,
Komao could take the hit.
see, I wasn't expecting freaking thing
You weren't
or
expecting Water
exercise
Shuriken, or
or Shuriken. I wasn't expecting the. I don't know. I don't know
because
why I
that
used
could have lost
Darm.
you Darm, and then it would have been a much closer game then.
Yeah, very true. I don't know why I did
But
that,
you
but
lucked out with the amount of hits.
not really. I mean, I didn't really. I think the only reason I went to Darm is because of the fact that it's like I didn't really need it. I don't know. I could.
Yes.
I'm just. I like this season. I'm just not playing for differential. I'm just kind of playing to stay safe at this point. But like, I'm just trying to play to win. I really don't care about differential.
Guess that makes sense.
That's the only reason I went to Darm is because I want to get like as
Yeah.
many kills as possible.
It was also
But
nice that
honestly,
Slimy stayed in with the Ferrothorn after you encored it. How
yeah,
nice of him.
like I don't know. Like I don't know why he did that. That to me still makes no sense. Like it. Like you had a. I don't know. It was so weird. Like getting rid of Falthorn, like I said, really opened up the door for Bisharp to do as much work as it did. Because Bisharp only had sub SD knockoff Sucker, which was all the coverage I needed at that point. Like I knew Kofag was going to be either my setup fodder or something I could use for it. Because the fact that, like I said, I think it's just Kofag was just. I figured it'd be like some phys def shit, which would be annoying for me. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Like I just did what I could.
You are one of the few people I didn't say that they should have brought a different mon over another. Congratulations. Because usually that's my first part looking at the team matchup, what they could have
Yeah.
possibly brought, which would have helped them. And your team is like, you brought the best you could.
Honestly, the only mon I really thought about I could have brought differently, if I remember, versus Slimy was I was thinking probably even Zatu over Cryo, but Cryo was really good for Greninja and whatnot. So I'm like, I'll just. Or I thought about Tangela. I thought about Tangela, but then it's like, nah, then Darm would get worn down by rocks too quick. I'm like, screw it, let's do it. So that was the only few other things I thought about, but it's like, yeah. So let's move on to number 3. Nada.
We're not going over your or my number 4. Your number
We'll
1.
switch. We'll skip over Justin until we get to number 1. Honestly,
Okay.
I got a lot to say about Justin.
So Nada's battle. Now she is 2-0 plus 4.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
See, Nada really played this game very, very, very well. Because the fact that, like I said, it was just chipping everything down, like letting Suicune get worn down. I said it before, it was just perfect for Nada. Because Gorbis otherwise could not break Suicune at all. And him just letting it just get chipped and chipped and chipped and chipped by Roserade, like at that point, like I said, if I were him, I would have gone to something like Go Baleon, or I would have even gone to Mega Arrow, because of the fact that, like, if I see, oh, well, I have a good potential of being swept late game, and sure enough, it did, but, like, I don't know, it's just, he really misplayed, I feel.
I'm surprised Nada didn't bring Blastoise. Because it's like, what do you mean, why not Blastoise? It's
I mean,
nice
Blastoise...
and bulky, can take out wall the Mega Aerodactyl, can wall the Arcanine.
To a point, yeah. But it has
Yeah.
like only what lefties is his recovery. Unless you're
I
running that
guess.
legendary Aqua Ring, Rain Dance, Blastoise, the lit set. Aqua Ring leftovers with Rain Dish. That's the only way you're getting God tier recovery. I mean,
But even
not a
then,
really
it gets Roar to get
yeah.
rid of Suicune if Suicune starts to set up. It's like,
I don't know, like this week I think Gels did bring the correct sets. Like Banded Arcanine, you were correct in the regard of it did a lot of work because of the fact that Nada's only switching to Haxorus with Klefki. Like Haxorus really put a number on Nada's team. Like really offensive dragons really messed Nada up, honestly. Like that's the one thing I'm noticing with Nada is offensive physical sweepers really mess Nada up. Because she doesn't really have the best wall. It's Blastoise or Piloswine or Klefki. Like those are her real switch-ins to a really powerful physical sweeper. And that's something I think Nada should kind of patch up because obviously Klefki couldn't Klefki was good for Haxorus and Corvus Cell Smash up in one. But like something like Cobalion, if it was Double Dance Cobalion, I could see that thing just ripping Nada apart. Mon by mon.
even Scarf Shaman could have put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's like Grass, Fairy, Earth Power. It's like,
Right.
and then Air Slash basically hits all of her team,
Air Slash,
except for maybe the
Seaflare.
Star Raptor. It's like,
Yeah. But Staraptor was taken care of early. So
yeah.
honestly, even Healing Wish in the end was for a last move wouldn't even be bad.
Heal up
Revive
that
something.
Suicune.
Heal up that Suicune, the Cobalion, the Haxorus. Like, Gels brought the right mons, but I don't think he brought the appropriate sets. The Suicune set was good. Like, honestly, if it, my biggest complaint I think was like, I would say it's like very kind of stupid, but Crocoon. I think Crocoon could have done some good work. I agree with the Ice Beam for Roserade, but again, you have other
Star
mons
Raptor's
for
not doing
Roserade.
much.
Yeah.
If you get those combos.
To Mega Arrow. Mega Arrow really just I think he misplayed Mega Arrow this game big time. Because Mega Arrow just really did a lot of work with the coverage it had. So that's just one of the big things that I have to complain about Gels, but Nada really capitalized, getting the Gorbis in at the appropriate time, Shell smashing up, just playing her win con appropriately. And she knew what to sack and everything else, and it was just a good game at that point. So let's move on to you.
Me, you're number
Before
2.
I talked about
me, number 1. 2 and 0,
Yeah.
+7. Best so
The
far.
only reason CB will ever be fucking PR list is because he's a fucking whore. But in all honesty, though, you did play a good match.
Brought
Kind
the
of
nice
wait and see
right
kind
set
of
with
matchup.
that Crobat, though.
Yes,
nice
I honestly thought it was Specs for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Timid was like a 50 or 40% chance to knock it out, but Modest is like 90-something%. It's like, unless he's running Scarfed himself to knock me out.
Right.
Sash,
the only thing, like, since I'm kind of, this is my first week of freaking PRs, I need to ask you, why Finny Kyurem? I hate it.
Well,
Like,
I didn't really want to draft Finny and Kyurem right off the bat, but then my Ghost was stolen from me. It was sniped, so I had to get Gorgeist, and then my grass had to change. And then it's like...
Okay. I understand.
And then my fairy had to change, and it's like, I need a fairy now.
Like I said, I personally hate Finny, Kyurem Black together because of the freaking Misty Terrain weakening dragon moves, but Kyurem Black isn't really doing dragon spam too often.
It's all ice, baby.
It's ice and Fusion Bolt for the win, basically, but yeah, I see what your point, but that's just the little nitpick I have about your draft, but anyway. But going back to the matchup, since
Kyurem owned him.
Like, Kyurem was good. Scarf Kyurem, again. Is there really any other set for Kyurem outside of Z?
Nope. Probably not.
Not really. So it's just really, God, 0 out of 10 CB. You didn't bring Stacka. Gosh.
Just had to worry about that Halucha, though, with the Kyurem Black scarf.
Like I said, it's
but
Lucha.
Coco,
like, getting rid of the Coco early.
Hawlucha not a threat
God, it would have been
without.
if Meow was a god, he would have run Misty Seed Halucha.
Yeah, that's
And
what. It's like take
dude, if he
advantage
would
of
have
your
counter
opponent's
prepped
threat.
you, if he counter prepped you and run Misty Seed on
I would
Halucha,
have
oh my
cried.
lord, I would have died of laughter, man.
Uh,
Honestly,
yeah.
but in all seriousness though, Matt played the best of his abilities, and in the end, it was just like the wait and see kind of game. Nat, I feel like misprep with the Chrono a little bit. I wouldn't say it was like too huge.
Bandit
He brought
still
the right
does
Lottie.
work.
Yeah, he brought the right Lottie. He brought the right Seismitoad. Skarmory still did a lot of work versus you. The spike thing you are correct about. Like, I don't know why he did not lay up rocks, especially when you have
Maybe he didn't have
Kira.
rocks on it. Maybe the rocks was on Seismitoad, and Spikes was on
Yeah, even
Skarmory.
still, even
Maybe he was
still,
going to hazard stack me because my hazard removal is
is
awful.
Finny,
And
Finny,
Crobat.
and Crobat. And you are, and like I said, it's just I don't know why he never laid up rocks, especially when he designed Seismitoad to beat Finny 1v1, which it
Not
really,
really.
yeah, to a point.
Even with
Like,
a poison jab, I could outdamage it with Nature's Madness and then finish it off with a Moonblast
I
before
mean, like I
poison
said,
jab wins.
it's just like the game of what ifs at this point. Like CB, it's just I don't know. Like I don't know, it's weird. Kieran Black honestly was just really good. Finny, it was like if you got up rocks, I don't know. Like I said, it was weird. Skarmory getting up that spike, like I don't know why you never laid up rocks in the Smash, because you had like half your team was weak to rocks at that point.
I was putting on the pressure, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, obviously, and that's just really what it boiled down to. So
You gotta know
yeah,
when to put on pressure and when to lean off and let things
exactly,
slow down.
right. So that was pretty much your battle. Now the reason I want to talk about Justin last is because of the fact that I wanted to bring something up about JS's that I really, really noticed because I had to prep for Justin or JS week 1. JS's team is way too reliant on passiveness. He did make some changes, if I remember correctly, but his
Yep.
team he really relies on passive mons. Was it week 1 or week 2 we did these changes? I think it was week
It's for week
2.
2.
Yeah, so we'll talk
He
about
dropped
that a
Weavile,
little
Durant,
bit. No, 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 we'll
Mismagus.
talk about it
Oh,
after.
after. Okay.
We'll talk about him.
Shh.
Shush.
Shush. Sorry.
But yes. The one thing I do want to talk about, like I said, it was just he relies on passive things too much. In my matchup, I felt he should have brought a Moongus. Moongus shut down my wall core, but Tangela Toxapex. But he's like, no, it didn't wall anything. Yes, it did. It walled Tangela and Toxapex together, and they both just wore his team down very, very slowly. And for JS, just like I said, his team is just so relied on Amoonguss, Rotom Heat, and Gliscor. And offensively, his team is great. The Silvally is criminally underrated as like a sweeper like that. Mew, he's brought offensive Mew a couple times. Infernape, like his team is. Oh, he didn't pick up Infernape. Oops. But you know what I mean. Like his team, it was just so passive, and Justin noticed that. Like really good setup mon just annoys JS. Like that's the one thing
Even
I did
Gardevoir
notice.
could have had a sub-com mindset and
Yeah,
put
like
in
a
work
sub
against him.
setup mon just destroys JS. And it would have been 2 weeks in a row if I got the come out properly. But that's one thing I am noticing. I did notice. I'm glad he made the appropriate changes. Because of the fact, like I said, a sub setup mon just finessed JS big time. But he did make some changes, and Justin just capitalized on it and showing you why Raikou is so good. Rotom Heat, I feel, is not that good. I really hate Rotom Heat as the Rotom. To me, Rotom Heat is arguably the third worst outside of Fan and Frost. Frost has a little bit more use than Heat, in my opinion.
Oh, Rotom Heat's nice because it can take
I mean,
a lot of moves that the other.
Right.
And
like
fire is nice for the grass, which is a good switch in for electric. It's like
I mean, Blizzards are the same exact thing.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
But
I mean,
I also
the thing
like
about
Fridge over Frost over
Heat,
Heat.
yeah. Like, because the reason I hate Heat so much is because it switches in on Stealth Rocks, Volt switches out, and then switches in on Stealth Rocks again. Like, yeah, Rotom Heat getting defogged this generation is great, but still, it's like, oh, switch in on Rocks, 25%. Like, Rotom Heat, Rotom Wash, I don't know. I like Rotom Spook before I like Rotom Heat. That's just me.
I like Frost. Frost is
Yeah,
clean. If only it wasn't weak to rocks, it'd be perfect.
exactly.
Because it doesn't get the attack drop from
But
overheat.
as I said, like sub setup sweepers just really mess with JS quite a bit, and Justin utilized it. I thought about it with Como, but obviously never got to set it up.
Only reason I didn't put Justin in top 3 is because he is 1-1. It's like
Right. I mean, you are not wrong. The reason I placed him at number 1 is because honestly, as I said, he had a good matchup, and he really utilized it perfectly. And I think that's really what it boils down to. But let's kind of go over. I think there was like what, maybe 2-3 trades this week, if I remember correctly.
I dropped Vaporeon for Tapu Fini. You dropped Mega Pidgeot for Mega Mean.
Oh no. I'm talking for week 3.
Oh, then
Week 3. So week 3, Slimy drops Minior for Hitmontop. And I agree with this trade because of the fact that obviously I finessed the shit out of him with fucking hazard stacks.
He also need the hazard removal for that.
Yes,
Volcarona.
that Volcarona.
It's like, where is it? And then he got it. It's
exactly.
Like 10 times better. The team is 10 times better.
And it was just so annoying. Honestly. Oh wait, JS's trades were for week 2.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was for week 2.
Okay, so I think we've already discussed it, but yeah, Minior for Hitmontop. I agree with Slimy because of the fact that it just made sense. And the other one was Liam dropping Rampardos or Pissimian. How do you feel about this? I like Pissimian. I don't think I've ever really seen it do work yet. I don't know how I feel about it. Like Pissimian for Liam. Sense. Like if it got Defiant, I think would be. I would place I think tier 4, but
get some more speed, which I think.
He's. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it overlaps with Luke.
Yeah.
It overlaps with Luke way too much. They both try to do the same exact thing, except I feel like Luke could be. I think he's gonna shove Luke more into the special role now, and Pissimian into the physical.
I don't think Rampardos really had a part on this team though either.
I don't think I would have.
Maybe only if he brings Trick Room with that Bronzong, and then he has those slow mons like Rampardos and Dragalge to take advantage.
But then again, I would have not even drafted Pissimian at that point. I would have grabbed a different tier 5 potentially, like something to patch up a few things. Like at that point, I would have put like maybe even Archeops on this team. Like I could see Archeops doing a lot of work. Alleviates the pressure off Lando T for rocks, because outside of that, Lando T is his only rocker, and it's his fucking Zmon. Like, come on now. Like, put Archeops on this team, or put, like, a really good stealth rocker on this team. Like, Armaldo.
Armaldo would be nice for this team. He doesn't have...
Armaldo, yeah, exactly. He does not have... His Zmon is his only rocker on his team, and that's not good at all. Because you want to run offensive Lando T. Lando T fucking rips teams apart by itself. With that fucking double dance fly neon, there's no survival. And for that to be pretty much forced to be shoved into a defensive role 9 times out of 10, outside of not giving rocks. Okay, I forgot he has Bronzong. I forgot. I seriously forget Bronzong gets rocks sometimes. I don't know why. But having a third rocker never hurts. Like, that's the problem I'm having with my team, I'm noticing, is my stealth rockers are Bisharp and Mudsdale. That's like really it, and it's kind of sucks, but
last trade was Slimy dropping Ursaring for Rampardos, which is like,
why?
I don't understand. You already have enough hazards. You don't need Rampardos. Ursaring and Rampardos basically are the same offensive threat wise.
I would have cut the Ursaring, but I can see why he wanted Rampardos. Because of the fact that it's a good breaker for him, but I don't ever see that thing coming with him.
Ursaring's a good breaker.
No, Ursaring was a better breaker for sure. because quick feet facade just rips through teams. Like that's why I put Bisharp to enough speed to outspeed it.
Or even a gut set under Trick Room with
Yeah.
that Kofag. It's
Yeah.
like you could either run fast with quick feet, blow things back, run slow in Trick Room, blow things back.
Again, it goes back to the whole Z move thing. Again, if it was Z Volcarona and Z Kofag, I see him running Trick Room a lot more with his team. Togekiss under Trick Room, bitch to handle, dude. Freaking flinching everything down, and then like same thing with Rampardos. Rampardos would rip teams apart, and then Z Kofag, fucking never running Nightmare or something.
Oof.
Nasty part. Like again, it just boils back down to the Z move thing. Like Zeke Ninja is not doing anything for him. It's not doing him any good. Honestly, that's pretty much it. Unless you want to add something else.
You want to talk about the actual standings?
Yeah, sure. I can't remember where we were even at this week.
I have it listed. Hold up.
Okay. Because I know we're on like week 3.
Technically, I'm in first 2-0 plus 7 spec. You're 2-0 plus 5 in second. Nada's 2-0 plus 4 in third. Justin is 1-1 plus 4. TB is 1-1 plus 1. Matt's 1-1 and 0. Liam is 1-1 negative 1. Gels is 0-2 minus 4. JS and Slimy are both 0-2 minus 8.
Negative 8. Right. So it's still tight. It's still tight. Like it's still relatively early for playoff.
Anyone's game.
Yeah, like it's still very, very early to be talking about playoffs. But honestly, right now,
I could really see the top 6 being the playoff people.
Like it's still top 6, so it's still relatively early, as I said. Right now, I think for sure the teams we gotta be looking out for is me, you, Nada, probably Matt. Like I don't know, it's still relatively hard to call. JS, I can see probably being that wild card at number 6.
It's not like he's had complete.
He's had a rough season start, but honestly, I could see him.
First game was close against you.
Yeah.
Week 1, and then week 2 he just did not prep right. He did
yeah.
not prep right.
No. Like I said, I think it's just gonna come down to just JS clutching up, which I think he'll do. So let's kind of go over the week 3 matchups real quick. It is JS versus Slimy. I 100% have JS. I'm sorry. No, I 100% have JS. Justin versus Gels. If Justin continues to prep the way he's been prepping and noticing specific things about prep, I'd have Justin for this matchup. Matt versus Liam. I'm going to put Matt.
I think most people are going to put Matt just because of Liam's horrible playing this week. It's like not very competent.
TB versus me. I'll let you vote because I can't really vote for myself.
I'll vote for you just because you're undefeated so far and your walls are really hard to deal with.
It's you and Nada. Part of the reason.
I would vote me just because it's me.
Nah. No, honestly though, it's gonna be entertaining to see PRs next week. I might have to step in just to keep you two from killing each other.
I wouldn't kill Nada. She's the best.
But in all honesty though, I don't know. I think the two I'm looking forward to most are you and Nada, and I think that's really it.
I'm looking forward to my match with her.
Yeah.
The other ones, I think, are basically...
Or just gonna be, like, fairly semi-predictable, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most of these battles can be semi-predictable, but some of them can be, fairly easy to read, I guess. So, unless something happens with Nada again, I might come back?
Maybe. You can be a co-host.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
This has been way better talking-wise with the knowledge than usual.
Like, that's part of I also been wanting to step in for a little bit just to get this shit back on track. No offense, I love you and not as PRs, but it's like, fuck, get this shit together, man. But honestly, that's pretty much it. Unless you got anything else to add?
Nope, that's all we have time for this week. Join us next week for week 3, where we're going to be shit talking between me and Nada, and maybe Spec will join us.
I know I might step in. It might be a 3-man squad next week. We'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see.
You could discuss
So
mine and Nada's match since we don't really want to discuss it with each other.
exactly. So I might step in. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later.
Bye bye.